Former President Donald Trump acquitted by the Senate for a second time, both sides closing arguments in this historic impeachment trial.
A good Sunday morning, mid-Michigan. Happy Valentine's Day. It's cold, but mainly dry. We'll talk more about your forecast coming up next.
And parents protesting for their children, why they want one local school district to reopen. It's time to wake up, mid-Michigan. It is Sunday, February 14th.
With coverage you can count on, this is WNEMTV5 News.
Good morning, everyone. Hope you are nice and warm this morning. It's definitely a chiller out there. Thankfully, the snow has moved on for now, but those freezing temperatures definitely holding tight. Happy Valentine's Day. Thanks for being here with us, spreading the love. I'm Blake Keller. Also spreading the love this morning is meteorologist John Gross, hopefully here with a better forecast than last night. It looks decent out here over Birch Run.
Not too bad out there this morning, Blake. The only thing that we're concerned about is a little bit of freezing fog, so that could make the roads a little bit slick. But other than that, cold temperatures, something that we've had over the past several days. So we know how it goes. London, layer up if you're going to be heading out for this Sunday morning. But at least we're going to stay mainly dry. Looks like we might even get a little bit of sunshine for the end of this weekend, sneaking in throughout the cloud cover. We'll take you over to Birch Run, I-75. Traffic at 8 o'clock on a Sunday, not too much of it, but what is there looks to be moving smoothly at this hour. Temperatures right now are into the single digits for most of us. We got 5 in Midland, it's 9 in West Branch, Big Goose Egg and Carroll, -1 in Oscoda. You factor in a little bit of a light wind that we have out there, and most of us, if not all of us, are right at or below zero. -14 right now being reported in Oscoda. Make sure again to layer up and don't forget about your pets. Also, something else that we've been monitoring is what we call freezing fog, and it kind of acts the same way as freezing rain. It's going to put a little bit of a slick coating, especially on anything that it attaches to. So it could make roads a little bit slick as you're heading out the door for this morning. Looks like our trouble spots have been near and along I-69. Just keep that in mind if you have any travel plans here within the next several hours. At least it's mainly dry, and your pinpoint Doppler that's live from MBS will turn more towards the north and west for our wind direction. So a little bit of lake effect cloud cover off Lake Michigan this go around, but our next system that's off near the south. You can see some snow near Oklahoma and Texas. Now check a look at these winter weather alerts across the country. This is going to be a very impressive winter storm. Anywhere you see the pink, that's a winter storm warning. In areas down south that do not experience this type of weather very commonly. So that's what we're going to be keeping an eye on as we go throughout the day tomorrow. We could get in on a little bit of that action of some snow throughout your President's Day, but for today, still see partly to mostly cloudy skies, and it's just going to be cold. Temperatures into the upper teens with wind chills into the single digits. We'll talk more about that snow, what we can expect for the upcoming week in your full forecast in just a little bit. Blake, back to you.
All right, John, thank you for that. A traffic alert for your morning commute. Officers responded to an accident earlier this morning on Bay Road in Saginaw. Now, right now, that part of Bay Road between Dale and Shattuck is closed until further notice. By a vote of 57 to 43, the U.S. Senate acquitted former President Donald Trump in a historic second impeachment trial. Now, the two sides presented closing arguments and reached a deal to skip witness testimony that could have significantly delayed the trial. Skylar Henry explains.
Donald John Trump, former President of the United States, is not guilty as charged in the article of impeachment.
Less than 6 weeks after the deadly Capitol riot, a divided U.S. Senate voted to acquit former President Donald J. Trump on the impeachment charge he incited an insurrection.
Mr. Romney.
Guilty. 7 Republicans joined Democrats to vote guilty, but they did not reach the 2/3 majority needed for conviction. Lead House impeachment manager Jamie Raskin said it was the most bipartisan impeachment vote in U.S. history.
Trump stormed our house with the mob he incited, and we defended our house.
Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell said he voted to acquit on constitutional grounds, but harshly rebuked the former president.
There's no question, none, that President Trump is practically and morally responsible for provoking the events of the day.
One of Mr. Trump's defense attorneys was asked about McConnell's remarks.
We finished the grappling in that room and we slammed them down on the mat and won this case.
Before the vote, House impeachment managers wrapped up the 5-day trial, arguing Mr. Trump set the course for the deadly Capitol riot well before his rally that day.
The cold, hard truth is that what happened on January 6th can happen again.
After his acquittal, Mr. Trump issued a statement saying, in part, this has been yet another phase of the greatest witch hunt in the history of our country. No president has ever gone through anything like it. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Washington.
In a statement, Senator Debbie Stabenow says, now as a nation, we must move forward. We must do everything we can to bring down the temperature of our debates, find common ground on issues we care about, and reduce the divide in our families and communities. And we must continue to strive for accountability and justice. Our democracy demands no less. Even though the vote was historic, it didn't surprise a political expert from Mott Community College. He says the decision to acquit was expected.
In many ways, it was not a surprise. Nobody expected there to be a conviction. If there was any surprise at all, it was that there were a few more Republicans than people thought that joined. 7 Republicans crossed the aisle.
He says the 7 Republicans could indicate that Trump could be losing support from the GOP. Still, they didn't cover the 2/3 majority needed in order to convict. So what's next? Criminal charges may not be out of the question.
There might be a possibility of traditional criminal prosecutions out of some of these activities, whether it was the things on January 6th or whether it was the phone call to the Georgia Secretary of State. We'll see what happens.
As of now, there has been no announcement if Trump will face any criminal charges. Saturday, the state of Michigan is reporting 852 new cases of coronavirus and 88 deaths, 84 of which were identified in a vital records review. That brings the state's total to more than 574,000 cases, the death toll to 15,150. Parents gathered outside of Grand Blanc High School, urging the district to go back to face-to-face learning. Protesters lined up and down Saginaw Street with the goal to get the school board's attention. Now, the organizer of the event, Rochelle Huff, is a mother of 6, and she wants the schools to give families options.
We don't want to make people go back to school that don't want to go back, but we just think that everybody should be able to make the best choice for their child and for their family.
So I wanted to stop and, ask the people why they're out here today and listen to their concerns so that I can bring them back to the school board so we can make better decisions for the public that we're serving.
The school board's next meeting is on the 22nd. TV5 News Time this morning, 8:08, still ahead at 8:30. Slow but steady progress on the vaccine front. The latest numbers from the CDC and why some teachers are opposed to the recent guidelines on reopening schools. Coming up, these freezing temperatures are causing ice shelves near Lake Michigan. It's a beautiful sight, but it could potentially be deadly. What you need to know to stay safe near the water. Stick around. We have so much more coming up after the break. More local news, a food giveaway spreading the love this weekend. Despite the cold in Saginaw, people were out in droves to pick up food and groceries.
We haven't missed a Saturday in 20 years. Rain, snow, it's snowing right now, cold, rain, the wind. Hunger does not take a vacation. We're here.
Now, if you missed your chance, giveaways are every Saturday from 10 a.m. to noon at the Old Town Christian Outreach Center. That's on Gratiot Avenue. Some winter fun at Hoyt Park. The park opened up for sledding and free skating as families were able to hit the ice and then stop by the warming tent for free snacks.
I really don't think that people care how cold it is. They're having a fun time. Families are out here, friends are out here. So it doesn't matter how cold it is, they're not really feeling it.
The event was hosted by Positive Results, Pride in Saginaw, Friends of Hoyt Park, and Jolt Credit Union. Definitely looked like a lot of fun right there. TV5 News Time is 8:11. Up ahead, for a year defined by quarantine and social distancing, how were people looking for love? We'll share the changes in apps and habits in pandemic dating. But coming up next, the beautiful sight of ice shelves on Lake Michigan actually pose a deadly risk. What you need to know about this natural wonder. A live look over Birch Run, looking good at this hour. Be careful, some roadways may still be slick this morning. We'll have a check on your weather coming up after the break. A change of scenery on Lake Michigan after the state was hit with a big blast of cold air. Ice shelves are now forming, creating a picturesque view. But as Lynette Grant explains, one misstep could potentially leave you in a deadly situation.
The beaches of Lake Michigan draw in hundreds of crowds all year long for different seasons and different reasons. But this season, it's all due to the ice. And while the ice may look really pretty, it's not the safest thing in the world. It is a natural wonder in wintertime on the Great Lakes. Large chunks of ice painting the shoreline. It takes several weeks or even months to develop because we need extended lengths of time with frigid temperatures.
When the extreme cold hits us, they form the ice on the lake, and then that all congregates at the edge of the shore and creates the shelf.
Lieutenant Fred Lesh has been with the Berrien County Sheriff's Office for 26 years, and every winter in the last quarter century, he has seen the wonders of the ice, but also the dangers it can cause. Shelf ice forms when small chunks of ice near the shore attach to the beach and continue to grow. The ice grows on the surface of the water and is not attached to the bottom of the lake.
People get out there and they think that ice is very hard, and they end up walking out too far and they slip and go through, and then they don't realize that there is actually water underneath.
While inland lakes develop enough ice to create less hazardous conditions, there is never a safe thickness of ice on Lake Michigan.
My brother told me about the waves about a week ago. They were more frozen. It got thawed out, but the waves were more clear before the snow came onto them. And we came out here just to see what they were like.
Darren Brown is originally from Indianapolis, but now that he's back in Michigan, he wanted to see the ice for himself. He admitted that there is no clear distinction between the beach and the lake.
You can't see the shore completely. You don't know where the end of the line comes. You don't know if it's the sand or you're on the beach, actually.
If you do want to view the ice for yourself, officials tell me the safest way to do that is to just avoid where the water would meet the beach and just give yourself plenty of distance from the waves.
And now your TV5 First Warn forecast, certified most accurate by Weather Rate.
All right, a good Sunday morning, mid-Michigan. Happy Valentine's Day. It's going to be a little bit more dry for today, at least compared to the snow that we had yesterday. Cold temperatures, but more snow chances as we go into next week. Pinpoint Doppler radar, that's where we'll start for this Sunday morning. That is live from MBS. A lot more dry compared to what we had yesterday, and it looks like it's going to stay that way for a good majority of today. The worst of it's going to be an isolated lake effect snow shower, this time around coming off of Lake Michigan, as well as some more lake effect cloud cover. Now, the thing we're going to keep an eye on as we go into next week is the next storm system down into the southern plains near Oklahoma and Texas, where they actually have winter storm warnings in effect for tonight into tomorrow. They're looking to see some significant icing and snow down into the southern sections of the United States, and I think we will tap into a little bit of that snow shower activity for some of us as we go, especially in throughout the day tomorrow. For the rest of today into your hour-by-hour forecast this afternoon, partly to mostly cloudy. A few rays of sun in the mix. We can't rule that out, as well as an isolated snow shower here or there, but it's going to be very few far and in between as we end out the weekend. Getting a little bit more active, though, as we get later on into your early Monday morning. This is going to be mainly confined south and east of the Tri-Cities for our south and eastern locations as we're going throughout tomorrow. That's going to be the best coverage for some of this snow shower activity to really move on in from the thumb Tri-Cities. Again, points south and east. On top of that, our winds are going to be changing more towards the north, and coming off of Lake Huron, folks in the thumb, we could also pick up on some lake enhancement or lake effect snow showers on top of the quote-unquote system snow that we will expect as we go throughout the day tomorrow. Now, I want you to look at this snowfall forecast very carefully. This is going to be over a long duration of time, looking through tonight, tomorrow, into Tuesday morning. General 1 to 4 when all is said and done, locally higher for the thumb due to the lake effect that's in play. It looks like the further north and west you go, the Tri-Cities, it's going to be about 1 inch or less. As we go into the hour-by-hour next week, Thursday night into Friday, this will be another storm system we keep an eye on. Trends have been taking it a little farther to the west, so that means chances for some snow Thursday night into Friday morning are starting to slowly increase. But remember, the track of that system going to be very key where we see most of that snow fall, and it's still about 5 days out, so we'll keep you updated as we get more more information into the Weather Center going throughout the week. Valentine's Day for today. Enjoy it. Sunday, temperatures near about 19 this afternoon. A little bit of freezing fog could cause some slick spots on the road this morning. Keep that in mind. Partly to mostly cloudy with an isolated snow shower possible as well as we end out the weekend. More snow into next week, President's Day. Again, those better chances will be south and east of the Tri-Cities into Tuesday morning, 18 by Tuesday. Looking drier, a little brighter on Wednesday at 22. And then another round of snow looks possible as we go Thursday afternoon into Friday, but at least our temperatures, those are going in the right direction, Blake. We'll call for the mid to even upper 20s by next Saturday. Back to you.
All right, good sign, John. Appreciate it. Thank you. TV5 News Time is 8:20, still ahead. It's been an uphill battle with snow and cold for much of the country. How other states are coping with these chilling temperatures. Coming up next, one mid-Michigan man couldn't ask for a better friend. Their journey leading to the gift of a lifetime. But first, say Be My Valentine with these Conversation Heart cookies. So yummy and looking great. Today's recipes from Better Homes and Gardens, owned by TV5's parent company, the Meredith Corporation. In your health this morning, for most, February 14th is Valentine's Day, but today is also National Organ Donor Day. According to health officials, more than 120,000 Americans are waiting for transplants. And while about 95% of adults support organ donation, less than 60% are actually signed up to be donors. Now, the need isn't just for organs like kidneys, livers, and hearts. Donating 1 pint of blood can save 3 lives. A Linden resident is raising awareness by sharing his story after getting a second chance at life. Mark Rupp was diagnosed with stage 4 chronic kidney disease. He went on dialysis last summer after his kidney function went from 22 to 10%. And that's when an old high school friend, Ron Parrish, found out through Facebook Rupp was battling this disease and wanted to help. After 2.5 months of testing, Parrish was declared a match and went ahead and donated his kidney to his dear friend.
He's given me a chance to live life, live with my family, give me a chance to go out and play again with my 7-year-old, have strength and energy enough to go do it.
I can't describe the feeling. It's amazing knowing that I've given, a friend and a great guy a second chance at life.
Rupp now has 3 kidneys. His only active one is Parrish's, and both are recovering from surgery just fine. Certainly a pleasure talking to both of those men. Good morning to all of you, though. Happy Sunday and Valentine's Day. TV5 News Time is 8:27. Coming up next at 8:30, senators wrap up the historic second impeachment of former President Donald Trump. We'll have an update on the vote that acquitted him.
And we continue to track the next winter storm across the country, what that means for our snow chances and your full forecast. We'll talk about that at 8:30.
You're watching TV5 Wake Up, serving Midland, Bay City, Saginaw, and your hometown too. It's coverage you can count on.
With coverage you can count on, this is WNEMTV5 News.
Happy Sunday and good morning to all of you. It is a cold one to start your Valentine's Day. Lots of love in the air, but sadly not enough warmth. Here's a live look over Birch Run this Sunday. Saw some plows out this morning, so take it easy. Some of those roads still may have some slick spots, but we appreciate you waking up with us. Today is February 14th. I'm Blake Keller, meteorologist John Gross also here this morning, and happy Valentine's Day to you, my friend.
Yeah, happy Valentine's Day, Blake.
Are we doing anything special for today?
We're celebrating. It's Sunday. It's
Yeah.
the weekend. No snow really for today. I mean, we could have an isolated snow shower, but we got a little bit of sun out there for
Looks
this
great.
morning. So
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's my gift to you and to you at home as well. We've got a little bit of sunshine peeking in throughout the cloud cover, but it's another cold start to your Sunday morning. Bundle up accordingly if you're going to be stepping out anytime for today. We'll take you over to downtown Saginaw, Huntington Event Park Center. Fresh layer of snow from yesterday, glistening in the sunshine with temperatures right now into the single digits for most of us. We've got 7 in Midland, 6 right there in Saginaw, 1 degree for Bad Axe and Caro, 0. A Big Goose Egg to the north in Oscoda with wind chills, even feeling a little bit colder than that. Also something that we've been watching for this morning has been a little bit of freezing fog. Now it kind of acts to same way as freezing rain. It puts a little bit of a coating of ice on anything that it comes in contact with. So roadways, especially near the thumb as of right now, could be a little bit slick. Just keep that in mind if you're going to be hitting the roads for this morning. Pinpoint Doppler radar, that's live from MBS. Most stay dry, and it does look like we'll stay that way for most of today. Could get an isolated snow shower in the mix. That's just going to be due to the lake effect scenario that we're going to have in play. But what we keep an eye on as we go into next week is going to be this storm system down near the south. You can see some snow already near Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas. Major winter storm for the southern plains and moving up the east coast. Check out these winter weather alerts. Pretty much about 2/3 of the country are going to be seeing some sort of impact from this storm as we go into the next several days. And it does look like we're going to get a little bit of snow for some of our areas as we go in throughout the day tomorrow. For today, though, it's mainly dry, partly to mostly cloudy. We'll call for temperatures back into the upper teens with wind chills in the single digits. More on that snow and what you can expect for the upcoming work week in just a little bit. Blake, we'll send it back to you.
All right, John, thank you. Senators acquitted former President Donald Trump in a historic second impeachment trial in a 57-43 vote. 7 Republicans joined Democrats voting to convict the former president, but they didn't reach the 2/3 majority needed. After the vote, Trump released a statement calling the trial another phase of the greatest witch hunt in the history of this country. As more Americans are vaccinated, cases are falling. At least 43 states are reporting progress, with the country's average at 102,000 cases a day. That's down from 250,000 just a month ago. As of Saturday, the CDC reports more than 50 million doses of the COVID-19 vaccine have been administered in the U.S. That's 2 million more since Friday. Now, the CDC also unveiled its plan to return students to the classroom, but it did not include a mandate on vaccinating teachers.
I think for me to feel fully comfortable, we would need to see a steady decline of active COVID cases, increase our vaccination availability to all educators and to students and families.
The CDC is encouraging states to prioritize teachers and staff for vaccination. More than 37 million people have received at least a single dose of the vaccine, while roughly 13 million have had both shots. Developing this morning, former priest Robert DeLand will be paroled after serving 2 years in prison for sexual assault. The former Saginaw Catholic Diocese priest was arrested in 2018 after 3 men came forward accusing him of sexual assault and other crimes. In 2019, he was sentenced 2 to 15 years behind bars. DeLand was once a pastor at St. Agnes Church in Freeland and also volunteered at Freeland High School. The state says he will be released in April. TV5 News Time is 8:35. Next, dating habits changed in 2020. We'll break down the ins and outs of pandemic dating. Well, happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Finding romance, though, in a pandemic can be unpredictable. In a world of social distancing, many are yearning for affection, connection, and attention. So if you're single and looking for love or socialization, we found out that during a pandemic, dating can be achieved.
I feel like it's definitely changed in the aspect of people may be more careful. Like maybe people will want to get to know the person better.
Long gone are the days of looking for love and meeting people in public spaces. The modern love story often begins online, forcing many daters to adapt to the times.
Something that really stuck out with the data this year is that daters are becoming far more intentional. And I think that we realized that maybe we needed to reshift our priorities.
Those 2 women, Michelle Farrell, Sexual Responsibility Coordinator at Saginaw Valley State University, and Match.com's Chief Dating Expert, Rachel Dialto, sharing how dating habits have changed just in the past year.
So I think it's important to just talk with your partner and see what they're open to, what they're not open to, and just get a general understanding of where you both stand on wanting to go on virtual dates, wanting to meet up.
But people aren't the only ones adapting. Dating apps, a plethora of them, have added new features as well. It's all to better serve singles longing for love.
We realized that video dating and just making those connections on video was such an important element.
Apps have also added COVID preferences to your profile, like whether you want the first date virtual or in person, outdoor, indoor dates, or should you wear a mask. If you do meet in person, a COVID test prior may not be a bad idea.
You take a test, make sure that you're negative. The day of, if you're feeling sick, feeling not good, do not go.
The data proves more people are getting smitten online. Match.com saw a major surge in active users.
We saw a 30% increase from 2019's October to 2020's October. So there's definitely been just this really large surge in people looking for love and getting on the app.
These features are meant to help, so a lack of communication is no excuse.
We wanted to make it really easy for people to say, this is how I plan to date. Am I going on a virtual date? Am I willing to meet in person? Do I expect you to wear a mask? And that's all part of the profile now so that they can avoid having those awkward conversations.
In fact, D'Alto says 69% of users on Match.com are having more open, more honest conversations.
So instead of having those kind of surface level conversations, people are getting deep, and that's where real relationships start.
Now that many apps have video features, Farrell says if you aren't comfortable meeting in person or in a public setting like a restaurant, try new, unique methods of dating.
I call it delivery roulette. So basically your partner picks out like their favorite place for you to try, and you pick out their favorite place to try, and you order takeout for each other.
So if you're single, ready to mingle, those experts say now is the perfect time. Now, with the addition of video chat features, other online dating trends seen throughout the pandemic also include long-distance relationships. So we'll see if that works. TV5 News Time is 8:41. Coming up next, across the country, people are bracing for freezing temperatures. How cities are prepping for historic cold weather. Speaking of that cold weather, taking a live look at downtown Flint this morning. Snow behind us, that sun peeking out. Those freezing temperatures hanging tight. We'll have a check on your weather coming up after the break. Well, much of the country is bracing for bone-chilling cold if they're not already enduring it. A polar plunge is delivering snow, ice, and freezing temperatures all the way to the Gulf Coast. And as Charlie DeMar reports, slick roads are proving to be dangerous.
Icy roads caused an 18-car crash in Nashville. 6 people were injured and I-24 was closed for hours. Texas, Oklahoma, and Louisiana have all declared weather emergencies. It has been an uphill battle against snow and cold across much of the country. This Oregon ER nurse doesn't have the option to stay off the roads.
I have to get to work one way or the other. If I have to walk there and be 3 hours late, I'm going to work.
And it's downhill from here with temperatures crashing well below zero. It can feel as cold as 30 to 40 below when the winds pick up. Even for Minnesota, it's historically cold. In Ely today, they reported 50 below, the lowest temperature ever for February 13th. The conditions are so dangerous in Chicago, Alderman Byron Sigcho Lopez turned the basement of his office into a warming center for those with nowhere else to shelter from the cold.
There's no other choice. We have exhausted all our options.
And in San Antonio, arrangements are being made to protect zoo animals, although Timothy the hippo doesn't seem to mind his personal hot tub.
And for several cities across the Midwest, including right here in Chicago, it is shaping up to be the coldest Valentine's Day on record.
Again, that was Charlie DeMar reporting. Here is a live look, though, over Saginaw. Fresh snow all over, and walking my dog this morning, we also had that. They loved it. I didn't. It's definitely been cold. John?
Yes.
That's all I have to say about it. I'm literally frozen in place thinking about how cold it is and how I'll have to go out in the weather very soon.
I've got some 20s in the forecast, so we're moving in the right direction.
Okay, I'll take it over these
it's going to take a little while.
Goose eggs, I like that you call them that.
Yeah, just a little touch I like to put into the forecast for today. But yeah, we've got some cold temperatures as we're going throughout your Sunday. It looks like we're going to stay mainly dry for the second half of this weekend. However, an isolated isolated snow shower, we can't rule that out. So here we go, pinpoint Doppler. That's live from MBS. It's a lot more quiet than what we had yesterday. Some sun peeking in throughout the cloud cover this morning. I think we will still get our fair share of some clouds later on this afternoon. That's just going to be due to our winds coming off of Lake Michigan as we're going throughout your Sunday. Now, this is the next storm system that we will keep an eye on as we go throughout the day tomorrow. Significant snow and icing for places down south near the southern plains, and that's going to be moving up near the Tennessee Valley into tomorrow. Does look like we're going to pick up on a little bit of that snow shower activity, just not going to be for everybody. Hour by hour forecast the rest of today and throughout your lunch hour this afternoon. It looks like we'll be partly to mostly cloudy. Again, we could have a few rays of sun in the mix. Also, just our wind direction coming off of Lake Michigan. A lake effect snow shower, it cannot be ruled out as we go throughout the rest of this weekend, but it's going to be very few far and in between. Now, as we get later on into your Sunday night, Monday, now that system that we showed you on the Sky Tracker further south, looks like we're going to get a little bit of that snow as we go throughout Monday morning, and the better areas are going to be further south and east this go around of the Tri-Cities as we're going throughout not only tomorrow morning into the afternoon and throughout the evening hours as well. Something else that we'll also have to keep in mind, our wind direction for tomorrow is going to be more from the north. So if you're in areas near the thumb, we could pick up on a little bit of lake effect snow shower activity on top of the system snow that we're going to expect. Now, this snowfall forecast, I want you to take a look at it very carefully here. Now, this is going to be a long duration event. We're looking at tonight, all day tomorrow, and throughout Tuesday morning. So when all is said and done, about 1 to 4 inches here in the light blue, locally higher where we could have some of the lake effect, and then about an inch or less north and west of the bay when all is said and done. That's going to be system number 1. System number 2, we keep an eye on Thursday night into Friday, and trends have been bringing a little bit more of this snow further into our area. So we're going to keep that in the forecast. Just remember, the track of these systems are very key depending on whether you see some more light or even heavy snow. Still 5 days out, we'll keep you posted. Valentine's Day for today, a little bit of freezing fog as well. Could cause some slick spots on the roads. Just be careful heading out the door for this morning. Partly to mostly cloudy, a little bit of sunshine, a few isolated snow showers for today, all going to be on the table for your Sunday. 7-day forecast, we continue with more snow chances into next week. Those better chances Monday into Tuesday will be south and east of the Tri-Cities. Dry for Wednesday, another round of snow possibly Thursday afternoon into Friday, but at least your temperatures, there you go, Blake, mid to upper 20s by next weekend.
Wow, what a heat wave, John.
I do what I can.
At least consider for us for winter time. Thank you so much. TV5 News Time, though, is 8:49. Next, a Valentine's Day wedding taken to new heights. The well-deserved event for 2 essential workers. Well, this Valentine's Day, 2 frontline workers were married in style with an all-expenses-paid ceremony at the top of the Empire State Building. New York hospital worker Jorge Martinez and special education teacher Christine Mariana were selected to tie the knot at the very place they got engaged just 3 years ago. This marks the 27th annual Empire State Building Valentine's wedding, which I didn't know was even a thing, but look how beautiful that looks.
Spectacular views. Oh my goodness gracious.
Congratulations to the happy couple.
Absolutely.
I'm not jealous at all. I'm just kidding.
All right, let's go to your 7-day forecast. Blake has to cool down here for a little bit. We got a little bit of a chance for a snow shower into this afternoon. I think we're mainly dry, partly to mostly cloudy at 19. Snow chances Monday into Tuesday, and then Thursday, Friday. We'll keep an eye on it for you as we go into next week. Back to you, Blake.
All righty, John. Thank you for that. And thank you for hanging out with us. Stay warm. Have a very special Valentine's Day, and we will see you soon. Have a great day.